And the next one we want to look at is we now want to start going through the alphabets, okay? The combinations of Windows key and the alphabets, all right? And we are going to do it in the order of QWERTY keyboard arrangement. So we'll start with Windows and Q, okay? And this is a very popular shortcut. It does the same thing as Windows and S, all right? It does the same thing as Windows and S, which is it brings up the start screen, okay, or the start menu, okay, for search purposes and to check whatever is in the start menu, okay. Like the Q now is like for quick searches, and you will also find this option when you use the Windows and S key. So they do more or less the same thing of starting up the Windows start menu, okay. Now for search, so let's go out of here. The next one we want to look at is Windows and W, all right. So if you press Windows and W, it opens up your widget, okay. As you see, I'm not currently on the internet, so you may not see um the widgets available per se, but it opens up the widget. I even still have the shortcuts here, like the icon rather, on my desktop, okay. But Windows W does that. Now the next one we want to look at is Windows and E, all right. Now Windows and E, what it does is that it opens up the file explorer section of your computer, all right. The file explorer section, the part that usually has this PC. For those of you that use Windows 7 and below, you see that when you press Windows and E, it will open the part that contains most of your um storage areas, like your local disk and whatever peripheral is attached to your computer, like flash and CD and whatever, okay. So but it more or less opens the file explorer section, okay, of your computer, okay. Now let's close this. The next one is the Windows plus R key, okay. And this opens the run, you know, tool or app, let's put it that way, okay. The run app, where you can run certain commands, okay. For example, you would see that um very useful commands indeed. For example, you can see what is here by default, because every once in a while I try to run it. This command, once you put it and I press OK, this command opens a place, for example, where temporary files that are not really needed are stored, okay. And sometimes they use they they use a great deal of they take a great deal of space, okay. So that it can be very useful that you select, you use it to go to certain important places. As you can see now, I have a lot of them, okay, that I can just delete when I'm ready for that. So that's what the Windows and run does for you, okay. The next one is the Windows and T command, okay. Now what does the Windows and T command do? I just pressed it. Now mark you, take note of how here became active. You can see how it became active on this first shortcut app, all right. So what it does is that it activates and switches between the shortcut apps in the taskbar, all right. So once I press the Windows and T, it will activate on the first shortcut app, okay, that is active on your taskbar. Now if you keep pressing the Windows T T T T T T, you switch between all of them, all the shortcut apps that are open. You switch between them, okay, to select whichever you want. So that's what it does. The next one is the Windows and U command. Windows and U command. And what does it do? When we press it, it opens up a section, okay, in the settings location in your computer called accessibility. All right. So it opens that section of accessibility in the settings area, okay, or app in your, in your computer. So of course, this is where you can now set certain things to make your computer more useful, okay, for those that have some form of disability, you okay, or some form of disability, just making it useful for them. So that's for that. Now the next one we want to look at is the Windows plus H key. So if I press Windows plus H, did you hear that? You see that it opens up the speech, okay, the voice typing feature in Windows operating system, and it's very useful if you want to convert your speech to text, okay. But mark you that it only works when you have internet access, okay. So it only works when you have internet access. Mark that. So it can be very useful when you are using a text document app like MS Word, Notepad, and the likes, and you just want to be speaking and it's writing for you. So that's what it does. The next one we'll be looking at is the Windows plus P. Okay, the Windows plus P. I think I skipped that one. So Windows plus P is the one that opens the section or the tab for projecting options. So if you want to connect your computer to a projector, all right, it helps you to do so. Okay, so that's the options it gives to you. So for Windows A, okay, so we are moving to Windows A. What does Windows A do? It opens up the, a part of the one of a part around the notifications area called the system tray, okay, if I'm not mistaken, the system tray, where you can more or less access certain important options, okay, in there. Of course, you see the first option there is the wireless option, which is active one first, okay. So that's what Windows and A does for you, okay. And the next one is the Windows plus D. Okay, now for you to see this in effect, I would have to open, several apps. Just open them up. So now I have, let me minimize this. Okay, it's already minimized. Let me just um reduce it a bit. Now you can see these two apps are open, okay. Now what you need to understand is that what Windows D does for you is that it helps you to collapse every current app that is currently open on your screen. Anyone that is up, okay, and open. So if you have 2, 1, 4, 6, if you press Windows D, it collapses everything down. And mark you, it does not close them, it just collapses them. They are still active in the task bar. You can see them here. They are still active, but it just collapses them in case you just want to quickly get to your desktop quickly. Okay. So the next one is the Windows and F key. Okay, what does it do? The Windows and F key opens up the feedback hub, like the place where you can give feedback, okay. And of course you can see that you need to be online to be useful with it, okay. So that's one of the shortcuts, Windows and F. Now moving on, we'll look at Windows and G. I think that will give some people a kind of idea for those that are gamers, okay. So it opens up the game bar. So if I press Windows and G, you'll see that it brings up this, look at this tool here, okay. And first let me just close this. Now look at these tools here. These are tools for gaming. All right, so if you want to set certain things for your game, okay, or while you are playing your game, this is where this tool comes in very very handy. Okay, you could check its performance, okay, by seeing the CPU or GPU um um percentage. Okay, of course many um systems that have some high-end games, they also have dedicated memories aside the normal CPU. Okay, they also have dedicated memories to also augment the normal processor that is used to run other things. Okay, so it would help very well for that, though I'm more of a creative than a gamer anyway. So this is for performance. If you come here, you see other things, Xbox social. Okay, you see if you want to capture certain things when you are playing the game. If you want to record, you see, if you want to record while you are playing your game, this is what you do. Okay, if you also want to speak while you are playing the game, so many some settings that are quite useful while you are playing your game. It helps a great deal. So that's for Windows and G. Now the next one is the Windows and H. Okay, now Windows and H. Okay, we've said Windows and H, mind you. Um, we've done that earlier. Okay, which is for the speech and typing. Okay, now the next one is the Windows and K. Okay, K. But this time, what it means is casting, not really K for kick or something. So if I press the window and K, you would see that it will bring up this option, and this is a useful option when you want to cast the screen of your computer to another device, like maybe a bigger television for people to see more, or stuff like that. It's very useful here. Okay, so yeah, so that is for Windows and K shortcuts. Now, the next one is the Windows and L option. Okay. Now, of course, it helps us to log off our current session, like what we are doing in our desktop and in our, it logs us off. Okay, so that you just need to sign in again and continue. So if you need to just quickly go and do something, you just press Windows L, go and use the toilet or something, or and come back without anybody viewing what you are doing. So the next one is Windows and X. Okay. So what does it do? It brings out a list of important places to visit. Okay, very important sections in your computer to visit that you can do some really important things with. Okay, and as you can see, we have installed apps, mobility center, the very popular device manager. Okay, of course the most popular file explorer, search, run. So it helps you just open up certain really useful and important places in your computer. All right, so that's what is a list that brings a menu list that gives you that opportunity. So the next one is Windows plus V. Windows plus V. And if you press Windows plus V, you would see that it opens up a section similar to that emojis tab. Okay, but this time it's the clipboard area it's focused on. All right, so if you have anything you've copied, okay, and you want to view it, okay, and you want to view it and possibly paste it wherever you are working on, then this clipboard is very helpful. Of course, it's always very wonderful with the feature also in smart keyboards, especially Android phones, Google smart keyboards, where you can copy. It has a history of about three or so of the several things you've copied. Is very useful, so that in case you want to um go back to something you've copied two times before, you could easily go back to it. And even better still, if you want to pin one of what you've copied, in case you keep copying it, even if you would copy other things after you've copied it, the option is also there to pin it, all right, to always be there so that it will not be taken away maybe after 1 hour or something. So yeah, so that's how you open the clipboard section, all right. And we are coming to a close. The next one we want to look at is the Windows plus B. All right. So the Windows plus B, when we open this, take note that in the taskbar, this hidden icon, hidden menu icon, okay, this hidden icons, this hidden menu icon comes active. So it's for you to get active on the hidden menu icon. So you get to see the hidden apps that are in your around your notification area. Okay. And the final one for alphabet is the Windows and N key. All right. And this just opens the notifications area, okay, as well as the calendar, and you can go ahead and set your calendar or your timing right. Okay, Windows and N, pretty straightforward if you ask me. N for notifications. Okay. And finally,